very creepy and strange when I say this, but I'm actually proud of myself. I'm actually, for once, in many, many years of attempting to take my life or attempting to at least punish myself through self-harming in my past, this is the first time in many years that I can actually say I'm proud of myself. Because I actually did something right and it didn't go wrong either. Well, I mean, nothing bad happened. I mean, I do have mixed feelings about it. But what ended up happening was I was on Twitter and I ended up seeing a trending topic that said Nicollet Mall, which is in downtown Minneapolis. So I clicked on it because I live near there, and I was I was just curious because they recently renovated that whole street, which took like 2 years, only for them to close it again for a reason I didn't know at the time, only to figure out that they were having a Super Bowl event here. As a matter of fact, they're on Nicollet Mall. They're having a 10-day event, meaning free concerts. They have activities there. I'm not sure if you have to pay for those, although I heard some of them are free. But the main thing that got me was free concert, and I was thinking to myself, this is what I need. I hate football, and I could care less about the Super Bowl, so whoever wins, I don't give a fuck. But as a person who struggles with social anxiety, this is what I needed. After, um, and I've ever since the late half of last year been trying to at least a few times try to do something on the weekends because I'm not a weekend person. It continues to remind me how alone I am, how, because weekends are the social days where people gather with their family and friends and do stuff. um, I'm more of a weekday person because businesses are more active. I feel like there's more things to do during the week than there is on a weekend. So I'm not a weekend person, but I wanted to change things around last year, and it kept backfiring on me. Either a storm would prevent me from going, or I would actually go and then chicken out and then leave. There was a lot of reasons why it backfired. So I, I, you'd think by now I would say don't do anything else on a weekend, just give up on it. But for this, I wanted to do it, and I actually did it. Um, so I took the bus, then the light rail to get there, and I was like, already I'm in panic mode because there's a lot of people there, and the further down the street you went on Nicollet Mall, it's like the more crowded it was. And so this is like a 10-day event. So this was the first out of 10 days that they were doing free concerts on Nicollet Mall. And I can't get her name right, but the woman who I think it's Adina. I can never get her name right, but it was the woman that sings "Let It Go" from Frozen. Um, she was supposed. Well, she was there. She was going to perform "Let It Go" there. So so a lot of people were obviously there, and I had to after a few blocks down, I had to like turn, make a left, and then go halfway down, and then there's like this entryway in the middle of the street that people can go through, and you walk all the way down, and that's where you pretty much stand um, to watch the concert. And by the time I actually got to where the concert was, I wanted to cry. I wanted to cry because there was a lot of people there, and I was scared. You don't understand. I've had a fear of people my entire life, and So being even being around 2 or 3 people makes me nervous. And when they look at me, I get scared. So so that's why when people look at me, I look to the left or to the right, any direction where people are looking at me, I look the other way until they leave me alone or whatever. And so by the time, and for most people, going to a concert is a good thing. It gives them happiness, but this was making me sad. So I do have mixed feelings on actually having the courage to go because, I was struggling with this whole thing. If you if you if you were to been there, literally I could not move because once I got there, people were still coming in from behind me, so I couldn't even move. Not to the left, not to the right. I couldn't move at all. There's just, if you take even one step, you bump into somebody. So left to right, front to back, there was a crowd of people there. I was like in the middle of it. It was just, I was so terrified that I wanted to freeze. I don't think I even moved, at least at first. Um, and so the concert was supposed to start at 4. But I guess this is one of those concert rules where they say the concert start at this time, but really it doesn't start till an hour later. Because I was outside in the cold. Lucky for us, it was only 48 degrees. So we, I say we were lucky because only a few days ago was it like 20s, and a couple of weeks ago was in the negatives. So 48 degrees was actually not that bad, which is part of the reason why I was able to last a little longer, because I hate the cold. Um, but the concert didn't actually start until over an hour later. So I was already standing there, surrounded by people. I couldn't get out anywhere for over an hour. And so this guy comes out and saying, "Well, we're gonna sing country music tonight," and then he leaves, and then but the odd thing was when the concert did start. As a matter of fact, the whole time that I was there was not a single country artist. Now, granted, I didn't stay for the whole thing, but the first so but when the guy says, "Oh, we're gonna do country theme tonight because this is a 10-day event, they're doing different theme type of music," and so they said country, and I'm not a country fan, but I'm like, I'm doing this for my social anxiety. But what came out first thing was actually a choir, and it just didn't really make sense I mean, they were okay, but for me, it didn't really make sense considering this is a Super Bowl. I mean, prior to the concert starting, they were playing this loud, energetic music from hip hop to mostly dance type of stuff. But then it's like everything kind of slowed down with a church-like choir. It didn't really fit to me. And they were singing like "Down by the Riverside" and then "Funky Town," and I people were actually leaving because of that. Finally, after that, I was so excited because I think her name is Adina, but the woman that was singing "Let It Go" from Frozen, she showed up, and it was just amazing, and to hear her voice, and because I was far back, I didn't like see her face up close, and because my camera is bad at night, you can hardly see it, but I still, took video of it. So yes, I did take video of when I was there, and I can't talk today. I will put that as a kind of like on the part 2. I'll just split this into 2 videos, but she showed up and it was amazing. And after she left, it was just crazy because, like, I thought it was kind of funny how after she left, almost nobody wanted to stick around. Like, most of the people were here just to hear her sing for 5 minutes, and then most of the people were leaving, and I was like, okay, I'll just leave too, because by the time she showed up, I was already there for 2 hours. My leg was starting to hurt because I was standing in place. Um, but uh, it was really good though, because they even lit up lights that were actually like being like shown on the buildings. So it was really a colorful night, and I'm glad I went. Um, but fortunately, it was a good and bad thing. It was good because I had a good time. It was bad because I was struggling with, well, obviously people there. I mean, even when we were leaving, I was, you, you have to remember, I was, like, it was a whole crowd, so literally I couldn't move. People were walking, stepping on the bottom of my jeans, so I thought I was going to fall a couple of times, but I didn't. And, I had to walk an entire block before, there was more room for people to, like, spread out, but, like, it was just crazy. Some people didn't want to move because they wanted to stay, so you had to walk around people. It was just fucking ridiculous. But I ended up staying a little bit longer, not at the concert, but down Nicollet Mall. They had a ramp where people were going skiing down. They were playing music down the street too. There's other things, but I just went to Target to get some Pringles because I was hungry. But I did stay just just a little bit longer. But while I was at the concert, I kept, there were these thoughts that saying, this is what you don't have. You don't have people that love you. You don't have friends. You look like a jackass going to a concert by yourself. I was struggling with these thoughts. Um, and obviously, besides anxiety, I was thinking, why am I here? Like, why am I here torturing myself, seeing what I'll never have in life? I'll never have friends. And what's worse, like, there was this gay couple there. It was quite obvious. And I was like, yep, that's another thing I'm not going to have. Like, of course I don't need a relationship right now. I'm still depressed. The last thing I need is a relationship. What I do need is friendships. And of course I can't get that either. So yes, I was really starting to bring myself down because I was seeing what I'll never have. But I was fighting those thoughts too. Trying not to focus on what I don't have, but focus on why I was there. I was there because I don't want to spend the rest of my life imprisoning myself in the worst apartment that I can see myself committing suicide if I don't get out of here. Um, so those thoughts came and went in my mind, back and forth, but eventually I just focused on having a good time, and I did it. And another thing though is, while the concert was making me sad because of my anxiety issues and what I was seeing that I'll probably never have in my life again or ever, I just don't understand how there were all these people, like, they were happy, and I felt so disgusted with that. Not with them being happy, just, I don't get it. How can people be happy in life? My life ambition was, um, my life ambition was to obviously take my own life. So I never experienced happiness, I don't think, ever. So to see people dancing, having good times, smiling, it was just, it was freaking me out. I was disgusted with myself, I guess, because I didn't understand why people are happy to be alive. I just don't get it. Why is it important for me as a person to be alive instead of dying? I don't get it. So, yes, I was struggling with that. Sorry, my neighbor's being a bit asshole, as always. Uh, so, yeah, I was struggling with that too. Like, happiness just, it feels like something I'm allergic to. Like, I'll I'll experience some sort of bad symptom if I get close to people who are experiencing happiness. It just feels weird, awkward, disgusting. Why are people happy to be alive? Like, I would never advocate suicide to anybody else. I would advocate it for myself. So, for me, I feel like death is the answer. And so, but to be fair, I barely even thought about it. When I was at the concert, it was just mainly like, how do people become happy? Why are they happy? Why am I feeling so disgusted from their happiness? Being around people experiencing happiness was just weird. And I felt, it wasn't until I got there that I started feeling like an asshole for going there by myself. Like, seriously, no one in Minnesota goes anywhere without a pack. So, of course, when you go to a concert, I am the only person who went alone, and I felt very strange. But I did get through it, though. Um, it was the strangest time of my life, but I did force myself to experience a Friday night, not locked up in here, in an apartment that I consider my cemetery. I instead decided to use a Super Bowl 10-day event to challenge myself. And I'm going to do kind of like a part 2 video, and that will mainly be of the video footage that I actually took while I was there. It's not a lot, and unfortunately my camera works good during the day, but very bad at night, so the video isn't really that great, but I'm going to still put it up anyway, just to say this is what I did. But I am proud of myself for at least trying. You know, I did enjoy it, and because this is a 10-day event, I'm not going today because I'm still exhausted from yesterday. When I walk more than 2 blocks, I get exhausted. So today is my rest day. But I might go back on Monday or Tuesday. Like I said, they're doing different type of music each night, so it's not going to be the same. Maybe I'll stay longer. What's funny though was that it wasn't until after I left, walked 2 or 3, maybe 4 more blocks down Nicollet Mall, where I noticed that there was this big, huge TV there that I could have watched the concert from. Like, I didn't even have to wait. I didn't have to stand in the concert area where I was. I could have just watched it on TV and have a clearer shot of the concert. But yeah, when I do go back, I think I'm gonna just do that instead. So at least I had a good time. It was a social anxiety and challenge that I did pass, but I just don't understand. I don't know. It was just weird. Me being around people was bringing me down. People being happy was bringing me down. There was a lot of downs, but at least I succeeded in this social anxiety challenge, and this was something that I needed because I'm tired of